What if I told you that one small decision, one tiny moment of kindness, could completely change your life? Not in a movie way, not in a fairy tale way, but in real life, your life. Today, I am going to tell you a story about a man named Arjun. He was not rich, he was not powerful, he was just an ordinary auto rickshaw driver in a big, crowded city. But one evening, he made a choice that everyone around him called foolish, a choice that risked everything he had, and that choice came back to him in a way he never imagined. So please, stay with me until the end, because this story is not about luck. It is about courage, and it might just change the way you see your own small choices. Let me introduce you to Arjun. Arjun was 32 years old. He drove an auto rickshaw in the city of Mumbai. Every morning, he woke up at 5 a.m., kissed his sleeping daughter on the forehead, and went out to find passengers. His daughter's name was Kavya. She was 7 years old, and she was the heartbeat of his life. Arjun's wife had passed away 3 years ago. A sudden illness, no warning, no goodbye. Since then, Arjun was doing everything alone, paying school fees, buying groceries, paying rent, all on the money he earned from his auto. It was not easy. Some days he made just enough for one meal. Some days he came home with empty pockets and a heavy heart, but he never complained, not once. Because every evening, when Kavya ran into his arms and said, "Papa, you are my superhero," Arjun felt like the richest man in the world. One evening, Arjun was driving home after a long, tiring day. He had made very little money. His auto was low on fuel, and he was worried about the rent that was due in 2 days. He decided to take one last passenger before heading home. He stopped near a bus stop, and there he saw an old man. The man was sitting on a bench. He looked very tired, maybe 75 years old, wrinkled face, white hair, and eyes that looked lost. Arjun asked, "Sir, where do you want to go?" The old man looked up. His voice was weak. He said, "Beta, I need to go to Nagpur." Arjun almost laughed. Nagpur was 800 kilometers away. That was not an auto ride. That was a 2-day journey. "Sir," Arjun said gently, "I cannot go to Nagpur. This is an auto. You need a train or a bus." The old man's eyes filled with tears. He said, "Beta, I have no money for a train, no money for a bus. My daughter lives in Nagpur. She is very sick. I just got a call from the hospital. They said she might not last long. I have to reach her. Please, I will give you whatever I have. It is only 500 rupees, but please." Arjun looked at the old man. Then he looked at his fuel gauge. Then he thought about Kavya waiting for him at home. And something inside him broke and healed at the same time. Arjun knew what the right decision was, the logical decision. Say sorry. Drive home. Eat dinner with Kavya. Save whatever little fuel he had for tomorrow. But he also knew, if that was his daughter, lying in a hospital bed 800 kilometers away, he would want someone to help her. He would want a stranger to say yes. So Arjun took a deep breath, and he said, "Sir, get in." The old man cried. He held Arjun's hands and said, "God bless you, Beta. God bless you." Arjun called his neighbor Mrs. Desai. She was an elderly woman who sometimes looked after Kavya when Arjun worked late. "Mrs. Desai," he said, "I have to go out of town. Can Kavya stay with you for 2 days?" Mrs. Desai agreed. Kavya got on the phone. "Papa, where are you going?" Arjun said. "Papa is going to help someone, baby. I will be back soon." Kavya said, "I love you, Papa." Arjun's eyes filled with tears. He said, "I love you more." And then he started the auto, with the old man in the back, with almost no money, with no guarantee, with only one thing in his heart, the hope that someone would do the same for him if he ever needed it. The journey to Nagpur took 36 hours. Arjun drove through the night, through villages, through empty highways. He stopped only twice, once to buy the old man some food, once to refill the auto with the last of his savings. He did not eat much himself. He could not afford it. The old man talked about his daughter, about her smile, about how she used to call him every morning, about how he had not seen her in 2 years because he could not afford the train ticket. Arjun listened, and he drove, and he prayed. Finally, at 2 a.m. on the second night, they reached Nagpur. Arjun drove straight to the hospital. He helped the old man out of the auto. He walked him to the hospital entrance. The old man turned around. Tears were streaming down his face. "Beta," he said, "I have only 500 rupees. I know it is not enough, but please take it." Arjun looked at the old man shaking hands, and he said something that surprised even himself. "Keep your money, sir. Go see your daughter. That is enough payment for me." Arjun turned around. He walked back to his auto. He sat in the driver's seat, and for the first time in 3 years, he cried, not because he was sad, but because he was tired, and because he had given everything he had. And he did not know how he would pay the rent, or buy groceries, or explain to Kavya why there was no food in the house. He sat there for 10 minutes. Then he wiped his tears, started the auto, and began the long journey back to Mumbai. Arjun reached Mumbai 2 days later. He had no money left. His auto was almost broken, and he had no idea how he would survive the next week. But when Kavya ran into his arms, he smiled, because he knew he had done the right thing. That evening, Arjun was sitting outside his auto feeling lost. A car pulled up next to him. A man in a clean white shirt got out. He looked wealthy, professional. He said, "Are you Arjun?" Arjun nodded, confused. The man said, "My name is Rajan. I am the son of the old man you drove to Nagpur." Arjun's heart stopped. Rajan continued, "My father reached the hospital just in time. My sister, she is alive. The doctor said if he had come 1 hour later, she would not have made it." Arjun could not speak. Rajan pulled out an envelope. He handed it to Arjun. "My father told me everything. How you drove for 2 days. How you did not take his money. How you risked everything for a stranger." Arjun opened the envelope. Inside, there was a check for 10 lakh rupees, enough to pay his rent for a year, enough to fix his auto, enough to put Kavya in a better school, enough to breathe. Rajan said, "My father said, a man who helps a stranger when he has nothing deserves everything." Arjun did not know what to say. He just held the check and cried. And Kavya, who was watching from the door, ran to him and hugged him. "Papa," she said, "I told you, you are a superhero. So here is the moral of this story. And please listen to this carefully." Arjun did not help the old man because he expected something in return. He helped him because it was the right thing to do. He helped him because he could not walk away from someone in pain. And that is the secret that most people never learn. Kindness is not a transaction. It is a seed. You plant it, you water it, and sometimes, years later, it grows into a tree you never expected. But even if it never grows, even if no check ever comes, you still become a person who helps. And that person sleeps well at night. Now let me ask you something. When was the last time you helped someone when you had nothing to gain? When was the last time you gave, even when it hurt? Because the truth is, the universe has a strange way of paying back kindness. Not always, not quickly, but when it does, it pays back in ways you cannot imagine. So today, take a small risk. Help a stranger, not for money, not for fame, just because you can. And remember Arjun's story. He risked everything for a stranger. And in the end, he got back more than he ever lost. If this story touched your heart, share it with someone who needs to hear it today. Subscribe if you want more stories that heal, not just entertain. And as always, take care of yourself. Because you matter. Oh, and one more thing. Kavya is now in college. Arjun still drives his auto. But now, he never worries about rent. And every year on the anniversary of that drive, he gets a call from Nagpur. Two voices. An old man and his daughter, saying the same words, "Thank you, Beta. Thank you for not walking away."